This video will be about ordering numbers. So when you order numbers, it's easiest to look at them on a number line. And often they'll give you problems where a number line is already provided. Usually 0 is marked and the numbers around it. And then often there will be points marked on the number line with a letter. So if I were to ask a question about this, I could say something like, what point best represents 1.5? Well, if we look at our number line, 1.5 would be exactly halfway between 1 and 2. So that would be point B. If there's more than one point nearby, we may have some confusion. So like if we look at point D and C, those are pretty close together. So if I were to say, what represents point 0, 2, 3? Well, C is more close to halfway, and D is more close to about 1/4 of the way. So C is closer to 0.5, and D would be closer to like 0.25. So 0.23 would definitely have to be D. Another way they can present it is instead of a fraction or a decimal to use a radical. So let's say we have square root of 8. Now, I'm not really sure where square root of 8 would be on the number line, but I can use my calculator to plug that in. Square root of 8 is 2.83. So that would have to be point A. A second way to look at it would be to think of numbers you know that are perfect squares. Numbers that you can square root and they don't come out as weird decimals. So like square root of 9 is pretty close to square root of 8. Square root of 9 is exactly 3. So the number would have to be pretty close to 3 because 8 is only a little bit away from 9. So square root of 8 would only be a little bit away from 3. Another type of question they can ask is to put the numbers in order from least to greatest. When they ask this, they usually present it a whole bunch of different ways, and it's easiest to put all of these into decimal format before we put them in order. So square root of 32, if we plug it in, is 5.656. There's a whole bunch of other decimals, but I'm going to stop there. 17 divided by 3 is 5.666, and it just keeps repeating 6 forever. 5.17 is already a decimal. 560 is a percent. Well, to convert that back to a decimal, we always divide by 100, because all percents are out of 100. So 560 divided by 100 is 5.60. One of the ways to make comparing decimals easier is to have the same number of digits. So I'm going to put a 0 on the end of the 17 and another 0 on the end of 560. So all the beginning numbers match. All of them start with 5. So if we compare these decimal numbers, definitely 170 is smallest. 170 is going to be smaller than all the rest. So 5170 is smallest. And then comparing 656, 666, and 600. 600 is smallest of those three. Then 656 is a little bit smaller than 666. So 5.656, and then 5.666. Now that we have them in the correct order, we just have to rewrite their original format. So 5.17, 5.6 was the 560%, 5.656 was our square root 32, and 5.666 was our 17/3. So now these are in order from least to greatest. And that concludes our discussion on ordering numbers.